The first map between FaZe Clan and Team Heretics, and this is, as mentioned, another elimination match. So very important. These teams want to progress, they want to get those RMR points, and we start the fight on Nuke. And this is going to be a really interesting one. James was saying that he thinks this is a toss-up. I think that would be surprising for many who just look at the brand names and who would likely therefore be way more familiar with, I mean, let alone FaZe, the just brand that is Nico, the brand that is Cold, the brand that is Rain, and so on and so forth. But here we have it. Team Heretics will be on the T side, and they're going for an upper rush right off the bat.
Good opening pick from Navarro there to take down Nico. 5v4 situation, and how will FaZe try to even things up? There's also a great smoke right now at Radio Room that XMS will be holding in tandem with one of his teammates, and it looks like FaZe aren't too interested in pushing on forward, so the entire retake will be coming from Heaven. Usually there would be some kind of flash to enable this push, but it doesn't look like that's the case this time around for FaZe.
I would literally save.
Just save out, yeah. Save the armor.
Well, looks like FaZe are not going to opt for that, and it might just work out for them anyways.
Oh, that almost been a disaster right there.
Yeah, FaZe able to pull that one back. It's surprising they were able to scale into the bomb site so well with that lack of utility.
I'll take a point about that smoke at the radio. That's such an odd smoke for pistol, but it kind of worked out because FaZe was trying to push into the radio. So I wonder if that was like an anti-strat from Heretics, or like, what do you guys think about that smoke? That was because you know, you only have 2 smokes or a limited amount of utility on pistol, and they use it for like a ramp push.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, I didn't see it get thrown.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was a different look for a pistol round for sure.
And FaZe will start off with the money, which is always very like that feeling of relief when you're on the CT side, pretty much of any map, but Nuke in particular, Train in particular, Inferno. Okay, I'm naming almost all the maps, but it definitely feels good to be able to have the utility you need, and especially because the buys are so much more expensive, and it's so much more difficult when you can't select the round as easily as the T's can. So it is a full save as well. Interestingly, because there is the option that they could have force bought on this map, and there's quite a lot of different plays you can do like that. Some form of an upper set piece with pistols is quite popular in such a situation. So yeah, pro tip: money equals good. I'm dropping the dropping the knowledge.
I'm surprised Heretics didn't buy, because they have enough for kill armor if they wanted to. Maybe have a guy with some pistol and nades. Because usually we've been seeing a lot of high caliber teams just kind of buying these rounds.
Interesting that Bemis was so happy to just hold that position instead of sort of falling back there. But it seems like Nico was in position to be able to help them out. Kiyoshima will fall as well. And Rain's there too. Brokey chiming in from the lockers from under the ladder. Alrighty then. Mac is doing a lot of damage with the picked up M4, and this is starting to be a little bit too scary. They'll switch things up to look for an upper attack. Coldzera is there from the vent by Squeaky to try to prevent them from getting this bomb planted. Mac is trying to find a way to either get the kill or just get onto that bomb plant, but he's very aware there's a player below him. The time is running out here, and he doesn't want to die after time. And there's the play. Did he die after time there? That was really close.
I don't know. I have to see the tab.
Yeah, press tab, please.
He did die after time, I think.
It was after time.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, his team has a lot of money
saved. That's so weird when you like. How often do you see a T side not buy on the second round after getting the bomb plant?
Yeah, it's not meta right now.
Hey, he actually has money. He actually has money anyways because of that.
He did a lot of damage to FaZe. Like again, considering how FaZe was on, well, their full buy essentially. This is really upsetting. This round is effectively a buy one get one free type of situation for the team that wins it, given that both teams have spent all of their money here. So FaZe looking for success, of course, still holding on to all of their smokes, and we get the outside smokes pretty much immediately from Heretics. Playing it slow though. Some ramp pressure is incoming.
BMS forced off of the angle. Good flashes from Heretics to deny that space. But what will they actually accomplish with it? Looks like they haven't quite entered the ramp room itself yet, but there's a lurk outside here. Kiyoshima in the big garage looking for some kind of opening here. Looks like it might be a hell pinch actually coming out from Heretics. This is an interesting look developing for them. And we'll see how they actually scale into the upper site. This is just, wow, they're really all over the place right now. And FaZe, they've pushed them all into a corner, it seems like. Pretty much just stuck onto that A site and on the lower one itself. And it looks like it will just be an A hit coming out. It'll be up to coldzera and Rain to try to connect to stop this play. And these smokes are at such a good timing for FaZe to slow Heretics down.
30 seconds to go. Out they go through the smoke. Perhaps their hand was forced, and Rain is going to be just decimating the entire push single-handedly. And Brokey has also not given any quarter to Heretics, as they just seem stuck in hot and squeaky. They're really unable to do anything here. This is the perfect response from FaZe. There's one kill at least. Maka doing some additional damage. That's a small consolation though, and that's a huge round for FaZe to win to stabilize.
Yeah, and we saw right there, Team Heretics was trying to wait towards the end of the round. It's probably, what, 20 seconds left right before they execute. But FaZe is too experienced in terms of they held on to their smokes. They held on to, you know, some of their utility for that upper hit. And that's one thing you have to probably do more against top teams, is try to bait out some of these utilities before you go into that slow mode, you know, like a pump fake or stuff like that.
Well, it feels like when they had all that positioning, a lot of teams would opt for a contact play, given that they can pinch from so many directions simultaneously, and they all just grouped up towards lobby and did a full exec, and that was just so telegraphed, and FaZe were able to counter it so easily.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's part of the hard part on this map, is it's hard to gain information if you don't fully wrap all the way to heaven, right? Like, that was the opening, because CT started with one secret.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens here, though. I wonder if they're going to go for an early vent play. There's no op-up on Maka this round.
Hey, Marcus, you happy?
We don't want to start that again. Oh, so they're going to go aggressive outside this time. So they're playing a little more aggressive here. Nico's going to get stuck in, so to speak.
Oh my god, the perfect gap for Nico to take Kiyoshima's head off. He's not going to be pleased with that. His outside presence is really annoying. And there's nothing else out there, or maybe there is. Lucky will catch Nico, so there is at least a trade for Heretics, but that is some good information, I think. I think there was some sound cues to indicate for the hut player, for the main player, that there, which is Rain, that there is at least two outside. So I think there's a good amount of information for FaZe right now. And as we're moving into the minute remaining position on the clock, Heretics, you know, the pressure starts to be on their shoulders to really gain some ground here. They are looking like they are going to be thinking about Secret potentially. They haven't left anything in lobby, so... Oh, Rain just taking the 1v1s and just having massive success. Just the dry cross as well plays heavily into Brokey's AWP. And this is another round that's just falling absolutely flat in the late round situations.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know too much about Team Heretics in terms of how they are, but it seems right there in that situation that they're probably not playing their game plan. It's hesitant, it's slow. Like, who would in their minds would slow peek outside, you know, late in the, you know, in that kind of situation?
Totally
with,
dry too.
Like with nothing. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think Heretics may have gotten into their own heads a little bit before this matchup began. James was mentioning how BMS has been in his own head and trying to do things, and I agree that that's true. But Heretics, I feel like the veto and even that pistol, all of it has indicated that they're playing this anti-strat style and not necessarily their own game plan or what they normally do on Nuke, and it's not really looking too good for them.
Yeah, it looks a little bit caged. I agree. I didn't want to say it because I wasn't sure of it yet, but I agree with what you said. They seem like they're playing kind of like tentative, if you will. And looks like they're probably not going to get the bomb down this round unless something weird happens.
That's weird.
And there's something weird happening.
AK2, so it's definitely an opportunity for more damage with that one. And it could be the case that as there is no success being found, although, actually, you know what, I'll hold the thought. Perhaps Kiyoshima can get some extra value as well. He could play the baits for Lucky, who is the one with the AK, who is playing the CT vent there. And indeed, the bait is working out nicely. Oh, that was another opportunity for Lucky. He was unable to complete that second kill, but that's okay. They still got a lot more out of the round than perhaps they expected. And and I'm curious, you know, what you guys are saying about them getting in their own heads and everything like that. I would imagine that the best thing to break them out of that is just getting beasted here. You know, I think that should be a path to shock them into normalcy for their own game and just start screaming out a little bit more, doing stuff naturally that's more comfortable. I would hope, at least.
This is a great opportunity for it. I mean, their money's starting to build. You got almost 5K on 3 people. So FaZe has basically all of the tools in the toolbox now.
So we'll have to see if Team Heretics can find maybe an opening pick. We'll have a defensive smoke being put down immediately by FaZe, which it seems like that will certainly slow down what Heretics were after there. They were perhaps hoping that there wouldn't be an instant smoke on ramp, but either way, they'll slow things down, respect the smokes.
Yeah, I wish Heretics they haven't been using Squeaky Door enough. I feel like that's like the main nexus point of the map, and like I just don't see enough happening there. They're not really challenging that pivot.
Oh, that sucks.
Wow. I feel like that's a scary duel to take as a CT.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like with an M4, I guess it's not as scary anymore now that we're out of the Krieg meta. That's one good thing that's happened in 2020.
Yeah, that is true. And it's good to see Nico, you know, playing with confidence. And he gets that slight advantage as to like knowing specifically the spot, I suppose, that he's going to pre-aim when he peeks at least. And you know,
That's true.
the other player doesn't know when he's going to get peeked. But ultimately, Heretics, the problem here is that Heretics, it seems like they wanted to go ramp really badly, but they've just been getting stopped really hard by the smokes, and they never adjusted. And here comes the ramp play finally, and Bemis with the first gun of XMS, almost a second. There's actually no rotation in time from Brokey, so this does offer some opportunity for Heretics, and actually, it's a great peek from Maka to do more damage, but time is of the essence. 15 seconds to get a bomb plant, and they don't have really many players left here. At this point, it's just Maka with the AWP, and he is not going to be able to do anything here. And that's another round where it feels like, I mean, I don't. Did you guys get a sense as well that it seemed like Heretics tunnel vision super hard on a plan they had at the beginning of the round, which was some kind of ramp opening, and then just froze because they couldn't get it.
I think on top of the fact that Nico shut down their outside presence and they just see him and they don't want to challenge it. Yeah, it feels like their contingency plan it's a little lackluster in that it did seem really one-dimensional and that they may have predetermined it.
Yeah, a map like Nuke, the outside is just something that if you have a lot of smokes and a lot of flashes for outside, the CTs most likely have to respect it. And there's ways to, you know, kind of counter it, play CT spawn, maybe play plasma, maybe even stack outside in those situations. But the point in the whole thing is that they can get the info, and then from that spot on, they could, you know, see if they're, you know, playing spawn. Are they in the lower bomb site or whatnot? Because if you're just playing so passively back on your gun rounds, the CTs aren't moving. They don't have to move. They just keep holding their spot and wait. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with what James was saying as well. You know, Robs showed us back in 2018 this innovation that, you know, the blowing up the door, playing the lurk smoke around Squeaky is extremely important in the pressure it affords you, and just the question marks that appear for the CTs makes them a little bit more uncomfortable. And we're seeing at the moment that Heretics are struggling to find ways to pressure FaZe Clan and pressure their utility and so on in a way which would put FaZe in any uncomfortable position.
Yeah, this seems like I hate to always talk like negative about this because we don't know what the comms are, right? Like when Navarre got picked on Silo last round, that very well could have just like totally screwed up the mid round. Like, what do you do at that point? All right, hey guys, like each of you look for a pick, or are we all gonna group? And Rain's gonna come under fire here. Lucky gets the entry on him and putting into 4v4. He gets 2 entries, and there we go, right there. See if they can hold the after plan on like pistol round.
Yeah, this should be a save in theory. They also have a smoke left for main. If they, I mean, actually, I think they have a player outside of main. Possibly. Oh, they have someone in secret. So yeah, there's nothing really that can be done here by FaZe.
Yeah, the question is this replicable in Lucky finding a pretty cheeky double entry onto that A site, and it was relatively dry as well, just some nice shots being hit by him. That may motivate Heretics, though, and sometimes that's what you see in these games. When we were watching Fnatic earlier, it seemed like just one individual success can propel an entire team to start playing a little bit looser, start playing freer. It's definitely what we've wanted from Heretics, to just see a little bit more individual skill coming out, but they got to keep it going. They got to keep this momentum up.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to say it was lucky, but it was kind of lucky timing, pun intended, that that he kind of came out of that squeaky area and caught pretty much two people off guard.
Yeah.
Who's actually in the area too. So you can't rely on something like that at this level. Even though you want to welcome it, yeah, take those if you can, but you need something more concrete in order to have a good offense.
I do like that they all ran out the door together, though. Like, there's 3 people just basically flooding out all at the same time.
Yeah, it's good. A little explosiveness, not projecting.
Well, this is a change of pace for sure. Kirishim's already made his way down Secret. It almost appears as though Nico is not 100% sure about that. He is still holding it in case there's any other players, so of course it seems like he does understand that. He was just making sure that he can get a good player count, and that's enormous amounts of information for FaZe. And Nico's going to go hunting for this player, and should be an easy frag. Oh my god, that's just too much, isn't it? Kirishima completely outplayed in this instance, and FaZe have a great understanding, a great read of the situation. They have all the information for it. Maka walks through the smoke, and he's able to get a surprising frag, but again, it is going to be very, very hard fought here for this upper bomb side. They do have a position heaven, though. Colzer doesn't seem to be aware of this, and that seems to be the difference maker as Nico gets caught on the ladder, and just like that, Bemus in the 1 versus 2 clutch. And we were talking before about perhaps him being in his own heads. And so we'll see what he can do in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be rough, but especially because we got XMS on the top of the ladder there.
Yeah, this is it's actually just the worst possible thing.
What?
Oh my god. Okay. So we're watching Valorant right now.
I feel like
Imagine trying to climb up a ladder while shooting a rifle. Like, not even like a ladder that's slightly leaning forward, but one that's like fully vertical. Damn. That guy's
He's
something else.
dexterous.
This is true.
Oh yeah, I was going to say something. It's going to be kind of upsetting to watch your replay of this match and find out that the outside smokes have been wrong the entire time, leaving a gap every single time for Nico to abuse. Unless he sort of... I don't remember him tossing Molotov from before, so I think it's just a bad lineup.
Well, Maka manages to find another pick. I have to say, he's been consistently... Well, he's been the sign of life from Team Heretics. He's been managing to get a lot of value so far with making plays. It definitely seems like he's kind of dialed in. So hopefully, that's promising, because it means if one player, all it takes is one player to be dialed in for that to be sort of contagious, and for other people to kind of get on board with that. And speaking of which, Nivera able to find the kill onto Nico outside. So 5 versus 3, and Team Heretics now just need to find a way to group up to gain ground towards one of the bomb sites. They've chosen this lower site. Lucky already in a deeper position, and with the lurk as well from Maka towards lobby, I believe. Oh, actually, no, he's on the roof. In fact, that should actually offer a lot of options here for Heretics as they take this lower site.
Yeah, it looks like they'll get it for free at this point, following those opening frags, and this may just be a safe call once again for FaZe. Doesn't look like they're in position to go for any type of retake. Maka, who is on Blacktop right now, does fall, and that should pave the way for FaZe to find a save in T-spawn.
Yeah, this is a big round. I mean, down 0-7 to winning 3 in a row. Like, FaZe has to save here. Their money's depleted. Like, this is Heretics basically getting back into the game here.
Now, if you're FaZe, if you're FaZe, how would you adjust in this situation? You know that Heretics are starting to work outside a lot more. They find their success through the outside. So will we see more of a lower head up front between FaZe? Maybe have a person ready to be event rotator or maybe a heavy stack outside. Heavy stack outside is a lot more rare. I don't see it too much these days, but usually teams will start to send a person lower right away to kind of lurk around that bottom stairs.
Think we might see Brokey just run down to secret immediately. He doesn't have the spawn to just jump out to the left here, so might just go down the ramp and pop up secret. Okay.
So go 1-3-1.
Hmm.
Which is that's pretty viable in a lot of ways. It allows you to have that strong upper anti-rush, while having that upper above ladder to spot any inconsistencies of the outside.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that FaZe didn't force up at least pistol half on Nico and Rain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and that's an AK.
Oh man, I've seen Rain do some disgusting stuff with the PP50, and that's definitely par for the course for him. And 2 players remaining now for Heretics. It's definitely not over by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the question of the flank. Oh, Nico assassinates them both with the deagle, and there's not much you can do about that. And just when you thought momentum was picking up for Team Heretics, that happens.
Shut down.
That's a rude awakening, and then some.
So I think if they were to take outside, Rain was in a spot to listen for lobby as well as to possibly rotate down vents. But man, those kills were nice.
Absolutely. So, Team Heretics, hopefully they can get that out of their heads. And Nico's been causing many issues around the outside. And once again, we see Kiyoshima sort of being the point man for outside aggression and outside plays, especially into secret. And they have
and
not...
they're going down there with Brokey too, huh?
Yeah, Brokey's in secret.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, all good. I was just going to say that it seems like the Wall of Smokes hasn't done many favors to Team Heretics. We've seen so many counter plays from Nico where he always gets the info or gets kills directly.
Yeah, I feel like that's why we see people going to the smokes that are closer to mini, right? So if your smokes are more in the CT position, then there's less room for fuckery, I guess, so to speak.
Rain manages to find a pick, and he's having a pretty incredible game so far. He's doing immense damage. Nico with the taps, unable to find what he's looking for there. Lucky able to gain control of the outside, and they'll start to pressure forwards towards the lockers. We do have Bimus who's looking to hold down that position. Rain, oh my god, he's just beasting everyone. Another headshot from him with that M4 from main. Main is not the easiest position to play. You've got a lot of different jobs when you're sitting in main, and Rain's absolutely killing it. Bemis will get the info on one. Rain just continues to get kills. Another one for him. Cold Zero's position is unknown. Oh, he picks the perfect moment, and I thought he was going to die for a second there. But now it's down to XMS, and he's made his way to heaven. He's now spotted. So no time, and he might actually die after time here. This is a bit scary. Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, how did he stay alive there? Okay, 9-3 for FaZe. They are really crushing it. Look at Rain go. He's 18 for 7 right now.
Yeah. And he's looking to pick up more kills in this round. It's not looking like a buy coming out from Heretics here. Oh, actually, they will somewhat force around that AK. Kind of a half buy around it. It's a little bit... Okay, no, it's practically a full force. Okay. It's weird money, but they do go for it. Looks like an outside approach once again. Oh, that smoke is not supposed to be there.
I was like just thinking to myself, wait, are we playing the old Nuke where we had this like huge catwalk thing that goes all the way around the outside?
So I'm assuming that was supposed to be on top of the blue bin.
Yeah.
It just didn't clipped on something. And Bemis looking to a wall. Trying to dodge anti-flash, gets caught off guard. Now Team Heretics, they have assimilated the ramp room. But Rain is ready. He's on fire and he's ready. Not that ready.
Oh, wow.
That's actually a heads-up play from XMS.
Yeah, that's a great read. Nico looking to move forward. Pinpoint accuracy there, and you can't really expect anything less from him. Brokey and Cold Zero remain. They do have not the best money, so they do need to go for the save here, and perhaps there could be some exit kills, which would actually be pretty painful for Heretics because they have no money. So every exit kill here is actually worth quite a lot for FaZe. They could definitely hold this forward position and try to force Heretics to try to trade into them. But given where the bomb is planted, they should be fine.
I feel like FaZe are very good at calling saves on the CT side. That's like one of their strengths, is that they don't go into positions that are unwinnable, or they play the percentages basically.
It's good. It's a good thing to have. We were talking the other day about teams who save more in situations like it's 4 and 5, but the bomb's already down. They're already in the bomb site, and it's just better just to save for the next round than try to force these, as you say, low percentage situations.
And it seems like Heretics is kind of and Q gets a nice crisp headshot onto Nico, but it seems, I was gonna say, Heretics seems like they're finding their rhythm here. Like they're getting a little more, like I guess, like making more decisions. And Rain, there's a second kill on the ladder this game, at least that we've seen from the point of view.
It evens out. Everything's balanced.
They have a weird default though. It's really inactive.
Yeah, super passive, but what hasn't worked at the start of the match seems to be tearing FaZe apart right now. Ish.
Oh, the bomb is down in ramp room though, and Brokey has control of it here. He keeps posturing as if there were a flank coming. Little does he know that that is not happening. XMS actually just running through the smoke, or as it evaporates and dissipates to find that bomb. And it looks like Heretics are interested in making their way back onto this upper bomb site. Navera is already in a great position to entry from. How will he be supported, and what kind of resistance will he be met with? Molly comes out towards back silo. Brokey's on top from Heaven, scales out. Coldzera is able to take down Navera from that opposite vent position, but a nade lands right on him. That's going to really soften him up, but it's not enough. He's still able to find the kill on XMS, and he's able to take down Kiyoshima as well. Very good hold from Cold.
Yeah, Cold is so grimy. He just he makes all the right decisions. Just his timing about to strafe out right when he hears the guy shooting, like he just has such a good feel for the game, and it's so obvious.
And all things considered, Heretics have 4 rounds. If they can get to 5, that's not a bad shout, to be fair, on the T side of Nuke. So I mean, it just obviously depends on what they're able to accomplish on the their CT side, but they wouldn't be too uncomfortable, let's say, if they were able to make it towards 5 rounds. And they started to find some of these entries more consistently, so I'm curious if FaZe might play a more passive style outside, where they have been conceding some of these entry kills. Kiyoshima working around the smoke, though, not favorable for him. Nico's much further away from it, and so therefore gets the advantage in that particular peak. And so it looks like the adjustment from FaZe is going to work out excellently, as they've lost almost nothing here, just a few licks of health, and that's basically it. XMS and Navera will try to do what they can to find something here in this final round.
Yeah, they're posturing right now towards some kind of upper split through Mini and Squeaky Door simultaneously, but they will be met by some resistance here. Rain taking down Navera, and now XMS, he was trying to make his way through Mini. He made his presence quite clear, and Brokey is able to find him through the smoke. FaZe with a dominant first half, 11-4, but on Heretics map pick, will they be able to bounce back? We'll find out after a break.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. This is the first map between FaZe Clan and Team Heretics. This is, of course, Summit 6, and this is an elimination match. These teams are playing to continue in the tournament, of course, but also to get those RMR points. And FaZe certainly look better out of the gates compared to Team Heretics, but in the second half, we'll see if they can recover as they move on to their CT side, perhaps the favored side. Maka does start things off with a headshot into Bimus. Bimus? I'm actually a bit conflicted on the pronunciation.
Bemis?
Bemis? Been hearing Bemis a little bit more.
Bemis.
Just a little more.
Okay.
Bemis. Or is it Bemis?
Well, either way, FaZe have kind of reset into a squeaky push, and Ray's going to open up, taking down the very annoying Maka, and that does allow them some good options here. XMS, oh, he needed to connect at least something there. I fear that it may be too much now for Team Heretics.
Rain already has great position towards outside, but Navera quickly deals with him, but this is such a deadly crossfire between Brokey and Cold right now, playing opposite vents to each other. Nico also can capitalize off this position from Tetris as well, and he's going to start with a nice headshot on a Navera. He's able to find a second on a Lucky as well. It's just Kiyoshima in the 1v2. Dancing around the silo, though, is Nico. Who will find whom? Kiyo taps the bomb, slows the round down just a little bit here, but he needs to find these kills quickly, and Nico will shut him down.
Such steady aim by Nico. I always enjoy watching his point of view. He's just so good with his aim, and I actually like what FaZe kind of did that round by taking over ramp a little bit and then falling back into upper, trying to find that timing where the CTs might rotate or be in rotation to take retake lower or whatnot. And it worked nicely for FaZe. They just got right in the upper box.
Definitely. And it's not a welcome sign for Team Heretics. They will be forcing it. Actually, no. They've forced with 3 players, and Navera's just got a deagle, and Mac has got a deagle smoke. So it's kind of a weird.
It's like they're setting up for a double op on the first gun round.
Yeah.
Kind of buy.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often.
But wait, it's going to be like another couple rounds before that even happens, and maybe it's a little disconnect, you know? It's like if you're going to go all in, you might as well just go all in, right? You know what I'm saying? You're down 12-4, you need rounds. You got to play to win.
Well, it looks like they want to play from the double ops and win, I guess. We'll see how that works out for them. Nico. Doesn't expect there to be someone next to credit card, and Rain will get the trade. Rain again, just crushing it so far today on Nuke. Cold Zero now lurking outside. And again, a typical way to play an anti-force buy is to get that heaven control from outside. But it's not necessary to even develop the round that far. Bemis will get the rest of the kills, and 13-4 will be the scoreline as Heretics will be on a full save. And they're going to be playing from 4-14 down, effectively, when they get their first buy round. So they have no room for error. There is no margin whatsoever for mistakes.
Yeah. This is a map that they've been playing a lot, so I'm curious as to see what they have in store for us for this kind of buy. It's always interesting to see how teams utilize the practically 5 USPs here. They did upgrade to a couple of P250s, but that being said, I'm interested in to see what the setup is. Lucky will be playing up close to the door right there. He had a Zeus, so was hoping for some kind of close shot with that, it seems like, but won't be met with anything other than a headshot from BMS. And now Brokey looks to clean these players up towards Squeaky. Kiyoshima actually was able to recover an AK there from Cold's dead body, but that's all.
Look how much money they have. Navera and Maka both has 7K. So they could have, even though they have 2 ops, I mean, you don't necessarily need full utility, I guess, but it'd be nice to have that extra pistol power when they did that kind of half buy. You know what I mean? Like that extra kill could have made a big difference with the pistol. So that's something to always kind of take in mind when you do those kind of setups that you just see right here.
Well, we do have that double up indeed, and that seems to be the game plan right now. And it's kind of do or die. If this doesn't work out for them, they are screwed. And they look to be challenging Navera here on the ramp position. So the first AWP frag will indeed go the way of Navera, but the instant trade is a problem. And Nico's making quick work down Secret, and if he can get position towards control, that's problematic here. Lucky will be able to hold down towards Decon, but it's definitely an awkward scenario right now with that bomb going down lower and the amount of control that FaZe have for this post plant. It's not going to be easy here for Team Heretics, and retaking with an AWP and 3 rifles and the amount of nades that they have, it's not the worst in the world, but there's just so many angles to clear.
This would usually be a save call, in all honesty. If the scoreline were any different, I'm sure that's what we would see. But Heretics, they have to go for it here. Nico playing the control stairs with a Galil will be taken out by XMS. That's a quick shot, and it's what Heretics needed. But Brokey quick to respond, taking out Kiyoshima. 3-on-3 situation. The full approach will be from the control doors, but Cold takes down 2, leaving just Maka, and he has to save the op at this point.
Yeah, and you know, not to harp on Heretics too much, but if you're down like 14-4, maybe repeaking the ramp after that kill isn't the best idea, because at this point in the game, you're trying to, you know, you need to win as many rounds as possible, and like little mistakes, well, you don't really need to re-peak ramp, even though you have an AWP, but you're down 14-4, you know what I mean?
It's the desperation that Navera shows in that moment, that he wants to just make up that ground as fast as he possibly can.
Yeah.
As JW told us in the post-game interview prior to this, that that they took it one round at a time, Fnatic that is, but you could see Navera just wanted to get it all back right then and there.
Yeah, and it pays for it because FaZe was pretty on point on exchanging the kills with that AWP posted up for the repeat.
Yeah, they are just crushing it right now. This is a non-issue for FaZe. It's just business as usual. Keo will be able to pick up the kill into Bemis with the auto shotty, but there's nothing left in the tank here, it seems, for Heretics. 2 players left, of which one has health and the other does not. And Brokey is hunting for that next kill. He sees... Oh,
what?
He shoots the backpack or something there. I'm not sure. Either way, Keo will go down, and Lucky in a 1v4 with an MP9. It's not a good look. We'll see what he can do with it, though. Let's find the back of one player. Coldzera will go down. There's the trade, though. Shotgun up from Brokey, and that's 16-4 on Nuke. Map 1 goes to FaZe, and I feel like, well,
Told
since
you
the
it's gonna
pistol,
be close.
never look back. And indeed, James, it wasn't close. You're definitely right. It's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of recovery there. I feel like we didn't see anything from Heretics.
Yeah, Heretics, it looked like they could never find their comfort zone. FaZe was just doing anything they wanted it pretty much on the CT side there, and they were having such a great time doing it. We'll discuss it more, though, in a post-game after a quick break.